Okay, so on to question 4 of the mock paper 1 now, and we're going to look at this question: make A the subject of, and then we've got it equal to this equation here. Whenever I say make the subject or change, then it's part of the overall topic of changing the subject or rearranging. So if you're trying to revise questions like this, you're looking for rearranging problems or changing the subject problems as a topic title. And if I'm trying to make A the subject, I'm going to first try and make this all look a bit nicer, and I'm going to do that by multiplying by r. And that'll mean I've got rid of the fraction. It should be easier to rearrange from that point onwards. So that's my number one advice really with these problems. If you start by trying to get rid of fractions to begin with, that's often the best first step. So multiplying by r on both sides, I'm going to get my a plus 3 times by r, so ra plus 3. And I'm going to get 2a plus 7 all divided by r, all times by r. Well, the divide by r and the times by r will cancel out, and I'll get 2a plus 7 on the right hand side. Now, if I expand this brackets out, I'm going to get ra plus 3r is equal to my 2a plus 7. And whenever you're working through problems like this, try to line up your equal signs as best you can to show how your equation's progressing as you're trying to make this subject. Now, if I'm trying to make A the subject, this is quite difficult making the subject problem because we've got A's in two different locations. So we want to get these A's on the same side. And so I'm going to start by subtracting 2a from both sides. And that will mean that I've got my ra plus my 3r minus 2a equaling my 2a plus 7 minus 2a, so it's just leaving me with 7. And then I'm just going to get those a's, so I've only got terms with a in on the left hand side by subtracting 3r. So if I subtract 3r from both sides, I'm going to get ra minus 2a is equal to 7 minus 3r. It's at this step that we need to spot a trick. So it's still not clear how we can get a by itself because we've still got two terms with a in. But if I choose to factorize, by factorizing a out, I'm now going to have a by itself, albeit tied to this bracket here. So a brackets r minus 2 is going to be equal to my 7 minus 3r. But all I need to do as a final step here is to divide by my r minus 2 in order to make a the subject. So dividing by r minus 2 on both sides, it's going to leave me just with a on my left hand side, equaling 7 minus 3r all over my r minus 2. So that's going to be my final conclusion, that my a is equal to my 7 minus 3r over my r minus 2. We'll move on to question 5. We've got a table of x and y values, and we're told that y is equal to 6 over x. We're even given examples here as well. So when y is equal to 6 and when x is equal to 1, that must mean y is 6, and we could ever think about why that would be the case. As we know, y is equal to 6 over x. That means when x is 1, y is going to be 6 over 1, so 6. So we had to substitute these values into our expression in order to express what y is, but the numbers weren't actually very easy. So we had 0.5 to begin with, so we had to be comfortable with what is 6 divided by 0.5, or 6 divided by a half. Well, dividing by a half is actually equivalent to times it by 2. You could look at it this way: 6 divided by a half is the same as 6 times 2 over 1. And so we're going to get 12. Divided by 1.5, we could think how many times does 1.5 go into 6, which is 4 times. Or perhaps you could also apply some fractions to that as well. So 6 divided by 1.5 is the same as 6 divided by 3 over 2, which is the same as 6 times 2 over 3. And we'll get 4 from that. 6 divided by 3 we know is 2. 6 divided by 5 is 1.2. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we're on to the next bit of the question, which is now we've filled our points in, we need to try and draw the graph of y equals 6 over x from our value 0.5 to 6. And so all we need to do is plot at 0.512, at 1, 6, at 2, 3, at 3, 2, and so on. Now, when you're trying to join these points together to complete your graph, don't just do it freehand like this. I would say rotate your paper so that you can do a smooth curve using the curve of your hand. There's the school bell's just gone. That's the last question we'll do. So that was question 4 and 5.